Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over a brew built around random encounter from Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering. This is a 6 mana sorcery, double red and 4. For shuffle your library, then mill 4 cards, and put each creature card milled this way onto the battlefield, and they gain haste. At the beginning of your next end step, you return the cards to their owner's hand, and it's got flashback of 8. So this card is potentially very powerful, and you can get a lot of power onto the battlefield for just 6 mana, all with haste, and swing for the win. That is kind of the hope of this deck. Now, the way that we're trying to kind of manipulate or use this card is to kind of thin our deck out of land so that most of our deck is big, beefy creatures that we want to hit with random encounter, because you can't really set up the top of your deck because it says shuffle your library and then you mill. So really you just have to basically fill your deck with big, good hits. And also, if you can thin your deck of lands, that can be quite powerful. Also, if you can shuffle your big hits back into your library, that can also be helpful to increase your chances of random encounter hitting exactly what you want, or a bunch of big threats here. So how are we going to do this? Well, we got a lot of different cards here. I'm going to try to sort them out by sort of alternate cost here, because that's really the curve that we're playing. Many of these are big hits that have an alternate cost that we can use to play the game earlier to ramp up to the random encounter or just remove our opponent's creatures. And we'll start with the 1-drops here, which is Llanowar Elves, which is, again, just Llanowar Elves. Really good to have some acceleration in this deck because you have some pretty powerful 3-drops that you can do on turn 2 if you have the Llanowar Elves. So very important to making this ramp deck essentially work, and to ramp up to random encounter a turn earlier can be quite powerful. But also on turn 1, we've got the Sagu Wildling, which has the Roost Seek sorcery Omen here, which lets you search for any basic and put it into your hand. But then the Omen ability shuffles it back into the deck so that it gives you a better chance of hitting it if you have a random encounter, or just top decking this card as well later in the game. So really we're trying to, again, fill our deck up with good hits for random encounter. And this is nice to do something on turn 1. It fixes your mana. It takes a land out of the deck and it puts a good hit in the deck. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. And got a lot of basics that we can search for here. Mostly forests, but mountains are quite important. And you'll often will search for mountains with this. So this is turn 1 plays. Turn 2 plays, we've got the Twinmaw Stormbrood, which you can Charring Bite, essentially do 5 damage to anything without flying, and then again it shuffles itself back into the library so that you have a chance of hitting it with random encounter. And then you can also play it for 6 mana as a 5/4 flying, and gain 5 life, so not bad. And this is why also we have the One of Plains in the deck in case you hardcast this later. And also the Overlord lets you find a land that can cast it as well. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let's see. Turn 2, we also got the Spinewoods Armadillo. This is a big armadillo, a 7/7, 6 mana for 7/7 Reach and Ward, 3. But mostly using it here for this 2 mana ability. Just search your library for any basic land and put it into your hand. And also gain 3 life, which is nice to keep you alive in the early game. And again, just searches up any of the basics. So it's pretty easy to get double red when you have the Wildling and the Armadillos that can also search up the mountains here. So that is turn 2 plays. Turn 3 plays, we've got the Overlord, like I mentioned earlier. You can append this. Probably know what this one does. Gets you a land that can tap for any mana. And also nice to hardcast on turn with 5 mana, usually earlier than turn 5. But you can append it on turn 3. Also on turn 3, the Bloomvine Regent is quite good here. So let's move it here. So Bloomvine Regent lets you have the Claimed Territory Omen, which again searches up 2 basic forests, puts them into your hand or onto the battlefield. 1 into your hand, 1 to the battlefield. And that's why we have so many forests as well, because you want to have enough to search up with the Regent. And then accelerates you into our 5-drops, which we will talk about here Also on turn 3, you can use Trumpeting Carnosaur for removal to do 3, or just play it on 6. So probably know what Trumpeting Carnosaur does, but there's a lot of pretty good hits that you can get with Carnosaur when you discover, which is nice also in this deck. And then turn 4, we can impend the Overlord of the Boilerbilges to do 4 damage to anything, or just, again, play it on 6 mana. But we've got a lot of, good 5 and 6 mana plays. So being able to play things earlier in the game, the curve looks something like this. And then turn 5, or 5 mana, I should say, you can actually get these off on turn 3 if you go Elf into Overlord or Regent and play these on turn 3. Terror of the Peaks, which is a dragon, and does extra damage for other creatures coming into play, so that can do a ton of damage if a bunch of creatures come into play all at the same time, such as with random encounter. Or also Dragonhawk, quite good. Most of your creatures have power 4 or greater. I think almost all of them except for this Wilding and then the Llanowar Elves. This triggers off of, so this can do a ton of damage. It also is an attack trigger, so random encounter gives it haste, so it can, when it comes to play, it'll trigger, and then you can attack, and it'll trigger again, and you can just do a ton of damage to your opponent with the Dragonhawk, so that's very powerful. And then, of course, random encounter on 6, and also random encounter, you can flash it back again on 8 mana. And this, because we have a lot of acceleration and ways just to search up lands here in the deck, it's, you can get up to 8 mana to flash this back as well. The mana base is pretty straightforward. Again, a lot of basics here because you're just doing a lot of searching with the basics, and a few duels with the Verge, and one of Fabled Passage, again, just to thin the deck. That's kind of the idea with it. Trying to get as many lands out of the deck and as many big hits in the deck as possible before you cast the random encounter. And if you don't draw it, then you kind of have this ramp package here. You're just ramping into big stuff and hoping that is good enough. There is sort of a a dragon theme as well with the Regent, I should mention. This says another dragon enters, you gain 3 life. So there is quite a few dragons with the Wilding, the Stormbrood, and then the Terror of the Peaks and Dragonhawk. So that can all help you gain extra life to stabilize against aggressive decks. So that is the plan. Let's see if we can jump into some games and get some people with random encounter in standard. All right, opponent goes first. His hand looks pretty good, actually. Got the elf into Overlord. Draw here. See if it dies. Oh, nope. Opt. Okay. Still alive. So, I think they don't have removal, or they just hit the land drops. Alright. Elf down. Yep, let's go use this to get a land. Just thinking I need double red. I got double green, so let's do that. Let's get another mountain. Shuffle back in. Again, we can go Overlord next time. Or we can go Regent into Overlord. Okay, there's a land drop, though. So now... 1, 2, 3... What do we want to hardcast more? The Regent will give us a lot of life. Yeah, I think that might be better, actually. Because these are dragons here, so might be worth it. Although this could give us more land, so hard to say. Alright, here comes the Quarry Steelcutter. Swift Spear. There is another dragon. I think we want life more than we want damage. We just get this down? We could also just remove both of his things. Let's just do this. See if we can get some life back here. Maybe some blockers. So Monstrous Rage, pretty rough. Another dragon, you gain 3. The Floodmaw, I see, okay. A lot of tempo. Let's see, if we use this to get a land, do this to get lands as well, and then just kill some of their stuff. I don't know exactly, or just replay this. It doesn't feel quite right. Let's do this. We get double red, go forest. Take out Swift Spear and token. See what we can do. Ray catcher, okay. Interesting. Talent, yep. Yep. Swings and swings. Down to 11. We're gonna have to go. Ooh. Spin the wheel or Carnosaur spin the wheel? I think this is what we came here to do, so I'm gonna YOLO it. Oh! That was a good spin. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good hit. Oh, well, that was a bad hit, but those 4, nice. This is lethal attack. This is a lethal attack. That is what we call a lethal attack in the business. This is 8 damage as it is, and oh my gosh. Yeah, random encounter. Sometimes you just hit the business. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. They are still blocking. These things, this by itself does 16, so. Right? And the turn. Yep, all those go on the stack. Yep. Alright. GG. On to the next one. Okay, on the play with a pretty good hand, actually. Does actually need another red source here. Let's see. So we'll see if we can draw into that. But besides that, that's good. Okay, life gain. Let's just go ramp. Fortunately, it's only forests you can't get with this. You can't get any other red sources. Alright, Amalia. Life gain. action. 4, 3 life. Okay. Ooh, there's a random encounter. So we can kill this in multiple ways. Probably just going to use this. Don't have a white source either, so let's just take out the Amalia before it gets too out of hand. And then hope we draw a red source here. Otherwise, our only play is this Carnosaur. Okay, nesting bot. Yep. Alright, well, it's sort of a red source. I think let's play this. Alright, fixing the mana. And just hold back. With the elf here. Alright, I think maybe we'll spin the wheel with random encounter and see what happens the next turn. Because why not? Sure. Came here to do the thing, and the thing we shall do. Ooh, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Dragonhawk into a bunch of stuff. And then they all have haste, so I might as well swing out with everything except for... Oh, do they have a removal spell? They have a stop. Okay, so letting me attack. I'm gonna swing here with the team. Well, especially the Dragonhawk, but is there a point in swinging with this one? Maybe I'll hold this one back. I guess it would give me an extra land if I attack with it. Worried about, like, I don't know, if they have a backswing or something. But should be okay. This alone is, what, this 2 per card, right? So that's like 16? Yeah, because they're, I mean, they're gonna block. Gain some life. And then end the turn. And Dragonhawk is going to do a lot of damage. Go to 2 life. Pass. Okay. Maybe I should have swung out with this, actually. I figured if they have Raise the Past, they would just block and sack this, though. Okay, here's Raise the Past. So I can gain a bunch of life. Fine. Then that's going to trigger that. Sure. I think if I need to use this Armadillo for any reason. Okay. Amalia. You can get a lot of life. This sacrifice to gain 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 life if they want. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have swung out with the Overlord just to get an extra land and play. That would have been maybe useful. This is what? 8 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 mana, 10 mana. This does hold back and attack with a few of these things, though. Alright, let's use this. Get another land. Okay. There's another random encounter. So, do I have enough to do random encounter plus Dragonhawk? I think I do. But that could be enough to really kill them. Also could play Overlord. They can do a lot of damage and gain a lot of life. Thinking if there's anything. I think this is my only shot here. They have such a huge board presence. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let's see. This is... That was a nice hit, too. These are all have flying, too. Okay. So... Let's swing with all the flyers. Get another trigger off Dragonhawk. Okay, now they are dead, I think. I mean, they can sacrifice a bunch of stuff to gain a bunch of life, but this is like... How much damage is this? I guess they could get this up to 20 power? Can they? I don't think they can. They have enough creatures in play to do that. They can gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7. Yep, sacrifice, ping. Get up to a 9/9. This is 10, 16 damage coming at them. I don't think they can survive this. Let them try anyways. I guess I could have used Carnosaur to kill the Vengeful Blood Witch too. Although they would just do it in response. I could also use Carnosaur to kill this blocker, but I think just playing another Dragonhawk post-combat is more damage, so... That's my plan. But yeah, they're not even going to survive these Dragonhawk triggers. Yep. This is a wild game. Yeah, let's play another one. I don't think it really matters which one I keep, but this gives me 3 more triggers. And then, yeah, tons of triggers, tons of damage. Dragonhawk. Card is quite the damage machine. Alright, GG. Got there. On to the next one. Okay, opponent goes first. This hand is not playable. This is definitely playable. Maybe throw back a random encounter. And go from here. Okay, Llanowar Elves. Let's see what's going on. Forest and forest. Up the beanstalk. Okay, interesting. Alright, well, let's ramp it up. Overlord, and then next turn we can impend this one. Potentially. Okay, Wayfarer. Alright, there is a land. So, options are we could kill this with this. Play this Overlord. We could play the Carnosaur, kill this. I think just go impend here. And just kill that creature. Get in there for one. Why not? Get some impending threats down, and then hopefully we'll hit a 6th land soon. Yeah, Overlord battle. Ooh, okay, no land, so that's not good. But we can kill one of their tokens. I guess that's kind of all we can do. You can use that to kill our own elf. This can only hit things without flying, so we'll just pass. Oh, hitting a land there would have been very good. Missing, not so good. Fauna Shaman. A little scary. Attack. I think I want to kill the Fauna Shaman. Seems like a bigger threat than these flyers to me. So, let's just do that at end of turn. Never know what that can search up. Okay, well, that's a little awkward, but we can play this. And now we have 2 Overlords going. And a random encounter potentially... Well, never mind. Okay. They just gave up. Alright, well. On to the next... On the play here, this hand looks pretty good. We'll go for turn 2 Overlord, hopefully. And then get out a Dragonhawk. Some big, beefy creatures. Swamp. Okay, don't kill it, and it's dead. Alright. Just pass and do Armadillo end of turn for a red source. Duress. Okay, well. Sorry to disappoint. The only non-creature spell in the deck is Random Encounter. So. Target opponent exiles a card from their hand. Draw a card. Okay, what do I want to exile? Maybe the Carnosaur? Because I kind of want to go this into this. So yeah, let's just exile the Carnosaur. And go for a mountain. And then go mountain, impend. And we can threaten to Dragonhawk next turn. Okay. Bandit's Talent. Yep, get rid of this. And level up. Alright, yeah, let's just go Dragonhawk, see if they have an answer for it. If they do, then unfortunate. At least we got in some damage. If not... we'll see. Yep, there it is. Alright, there's my last card. Ah, the Hecked Eyes. Nice. Ooh. Alright, well, play that one. Get some more mana. And now every top deck is pretty good. Anything that's not a land or a Llanowar Elf is pretty good. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, I'm not attacking, so... see if they trade. Yep. Okay. That's fine. And play another one. Got Overlords for days. What you got? Level up. Okay. This is if they have one or fewer. Ooh, okay. Let's cast this. See what happens. Hopefully they don't have any board sweepers, but that is possible. Okay, Bloomvine Regent. Whatever, let's just get our dragon going. Gain some life, swing. And that'll do it. Very nice. On to the next one. Okay, on the play. This hand is okay. I guess we can go Overlord into Overlord if we draw lands. So we'll try it. Need to hit one land off the top. Or a mana source. Ooh, that might need to die though. Fabled Passage is an awkward one for sure. Heartfire Hero. Do I kill that? I think I just kill that before it gets pumped to do tons of damage. Well, Fabled Passage. Hopefully we draw another land. It's not a Fabled Passage. Okay, Manifold Mouse. Well, we didn't draw another one, but did get a way to thin the deck. Let's see. Double green, so we need another red source. We'll get that. And then just play this and hold up. Bluff that we have some sort of removal, maybe? Set a stop. No, okay, didn't set a stop. Take the 4 from the mouse. Alright. Carnosaur is good. Do we just want to kill this thing? Probably. Do a lot of damage. Let's see. Let's see if we go crack this and get white source, red, double green, flames. I think we just kill this now. Alright. Well, kept the board clear for now. Ooh, land is good. Now we can start casting these. Maybe we can get a random encounter going. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, just Overlord into Overlord. Of course, another one. Nice. Yep. Pretty good. And another one. Play Llanowar Elves. Let's see what else. Let's see what they got. Yeah, pretty good. That's Trample and Menace. Wow, yep. Another 3 armor. Nice. Alright, GG. Okay, on the play here. And looks pretty good. A little slow, I guess. Let's just start with... let's go for a second red source, I think. And excuse me. Then this can get us to Overlord. And then the random encounter. Omo, sure. Okay, I think we just still go Regent here. Ramp. Get 2 forests. And yeah, should be a turn 5 encounter here. Ride's End. Which hopefully works out well for us. Let's see what the play is. Okay. So, Impend, I think is the play. Could do this and this. But let's just go here. Get the Impend counters going here. And it is lost. Gotten lost. Elder Dragon War, okay. That one can discard and then make a dragon token. Okay. Well, I think we're just gonna go for it here. Might as well, right? See what we hit. Spin the wheel. Oh, got a few things. Okay. I guess attack. And back to my hand. And got another one in their yard. Okay, that's nice. I hit for 10. Okay, not bad. Here's Yuna. And bring back the Elder Dragon War. So probably gotta take out the Yuna. Take it out with this. And then let's see, land. 1, 2, 3. We can do play the Overlord or impend it. I think we just play it here. Sounds good. Get another land, and then we can flash back a random encounters if you want. Okay, Terra. Find another Elder Dragon War. Okay, that's a summon. Alright. Nothing there. I think we just go for it. Probably. We're going to hold this back. Or we could just play out a few more guys. This could flip, though. That's kind of scary. And we could kill the Terra with the Overlord. Sure. This could trade for, like, one of those. Don't know if I want to do that. Let's play this. Take out the Terra, I think. And do some scary stuff. Let's thin out the deck of a land here. Get a forest. Play the forest and play the elf. And 6. Actually, I could take out both of those, or just one of these. I think it's actually okay to attack. That's fine. I don't mind that. That trade. See what they got. Nothing there. Alright, let's just go here. Ooh. Alright, got some stuff. Gained some life. And got him. Nice, nice. Random encounter. Got there. Alright, welcome back to the wrap-up for our random encounter deck. In Standard, this was super fun combo. Got some pretty sweet random encounters that just put like 4 giant creatures into play and attack for the win. That's exactly what I was hoping with this deck. So that made me very happy. Deck is actually pretty decent overall. I'm not really sure if there's any main changes I would make. Dragonhawk was very good. I'm not sure if I actually hit the Terror of the Peaks, so wasn't quite sure if that could be something else, maybe more Dragonhawks. The problem with playing too many of these is that they're legendary, so they don't really stack onto each other as well, so it might be fine this way. But yeah, let me know in the comments below any other ideas for the deck. The only thing I might change or look at is the mana base. Wasn't 100% sure. Fabled Passage, maybe just not worth it, but it does thin the deck, so that's kind of cool. But overall, seemed to work pretty well, and got some cool wins with it, so can't complain about that. Again, let me know in the comments below any of your thoughts about the deck, any tweaks or cards you might try out in it. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.